Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for tuning in for another buyback episode today. I know I've been showing quite a few of these of late here on the channel, but they are one of my biggest passions in the hobby. I love their uniqueness and mystery, and I've been collecting these steadily for over 10 years now. And no matter what else I have going on in the hobby, I'm always keeping an eye open for these, for opportunities to add unique and cool buybacks to my ever-expanding collection. And to that end, I was able to, over the last month, land two incredible buybacks featuring iconic cards. I'd always wondered whether either of them actually existed as a buyback, and as luck would have it, they both surfaced towards the end of the year and was able to secure both of them, and I have those to share with you at the end of the video. But before we get to that, I'm going to go through this little stack featuring some stars and Hall of Famers from my stash that I am going to process into my buyback Frankenset. And we're going to start with a pair of Turn Back the Clock buybacks. Now these are extra cool because they've got the original card, printed on a Turn Back the Clock card a decade or two later. And then that Turn Back the Clock card was purchased, stamped, and then pack issued a whole nother time. In this case, back in 2017 as part of the Rediscover Topps buyback promotion. So we've got the 71 Willie Mays and the 68 Bob Gibson. Two great players, two great seasons, two great Turn Back the Clock cards. Shout out, of course, to my buddies Dylan and Adam of Splendid Sports, who host Turn Back the Clock, one of my favorite collaborations here on YouTube. I've got one 1990 Topps buyback today. I am plugging away at the kind of fool's errand that is trying to complete the 1990 Topps set, all in buyback format. And I was able to add this Roger McDowell. I don't think all of these cards exist as buybacks, but I'm really getting close. I'm over 700 cards in the binder now, and happy to add another one there with McDowell. Here's a somewhat recent Hall of Fame inductee, Dave Parker. I think of him as most probably do with the Pirates, but this is a later career card from 85 Topps with the Reds. Great 2016 buyback program stamp on this one. And he'll be vying for card number 175 in the Frankenset. Continuing on with a little run of Hall of Famers here. How about Jim Tomei, a guy that we don't hear a lot about in the hobby outside of like Indians team collectors and fans, but he doesn't seem to be widely collected, even though he just quietly raked the ball for a long time and put together kind of monster counting numbers. Like, it's crazy just how many home runs this guy hit relative to how little you hear about him in our hobby. But happy to have this 93 Topps. He was, of course, a member of those powerhouse Indians teams in the 90s. And even though I was a Red Sox fan growing up and still am, I'm very sympathetic and a fan of big franchises and dynasties. So I loved those Indians teams with Manny Ramirez and Tomei and Kenny Lofton and all those guys. They were just so fun to watch back in the day, and I'm really happy to have that one. Here's one of the all-time greats, Frank Robinson on the 89 Topps Orioles manager card. Great smile here. Obviously, Frank, a legend as both a player, 500 home run hitter, MVP winner in both leagues. Went on to have an incredible managerial career as well. Just a super important person in the history of baseball, and pumped to hopefully get him into the Frankenset. This is a nice high card number too at number 774. So this would be on one of the final pages of the binder. I am overdue to show off the buyback Frankenset in binder format. I'll be honest, I don't have the easiest time filming binders and flipping through them. So if anyone has any tips on an effective way to do that, I am certainly all ears. Please let me know. Moving 10 years into the future from that 89 Frank Robinson, we have a 99 David Ortiz, Big Papi. Of course, before he came to Boston and really became a legend here in New England. This is from his time with Minnesota, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to get a relatively early career David Ortiz in buyback format. Have not seen very many, if any, 90s David Ortiz buyback cards, so really, really pumped to have that one. And then from the same set, this is one of the few cards that is not really a superstar or Hall of Famer in this lot, but I just couldn't pass it up because of the photo. Check out this Brian Hunter, literally stealing bags. Just so awesome. He's got the bandana on there. Looks like a proper thief running off with a couple bags. So just love, love, love that card. I didn't even know this card existed until I found it in buyback format. I was not collecting in 1999. I was in high school at the time and was interested in things other than baseball cards. That was during my sort of dark ages in the hobby. And so when I ran across that, I just thought it was a riot and had to snag that one for the collection. This next one is a card that I already own in buyback format, but had to snag this one because I love this Doc Ellis. And first of all, this example is like, I mean, this is like double D quality centering here, just perfectly centered. And this is my favorite Doc Ellis card, obviously because he is known for the LSD no-hitter. And this is like the most psychedelic design that I think Topps has ever used. So I just feel like this is the perfect Doc Ellis card. And when this one went up recently for under $5 with free shipping, had to jump on that. So I think that card is already in the Franken set, but I will make use of that in another buyback project that I have going on that I've yet to sort of unveil here on the channel. Just two more here, and then we'll get to the really big rookie cards. This one's really neat. I found this on ComC of all places. The 1990 Bowman Nolan Ryan from the 2017 70th anniversary Bowman buyback program. So Bowman, of course, started with the 1948 set. So the 2017 release was the 70th anniversary of that inaugural set. And as such, they did a Bowman stamped buyback program. And I'm always looking for any opportunity to add cool, unique Nolan Ryan cards to my collection. I love collecting them, but I don't have the budget that some of the big time Nolan Ryan guys do. But this one was not a wallet buster at all. It was like $10. And I just love the uniqueness of that. Not a Nolan Ryan card that you'll see in that format, at least on many other channels, if any. And then the last one is a really nice one. Shout out to my buddy Mookie Chilson, who's of course the biggest Mets fan that I know. Got the 69 Gil Hodges manager card for the Mets. And this is a Topps Heritage box topper buyback. This one I paid up for. This popped on ComC. It was like the $20 asking point price. But I thought about it for only a few minutes and then I snatched it up. And the obvious reason is I love cards that represent big seasons or significant feats in the game of baseball or in baseball history. And of course, 1969 was the year for the Miracle Mets, their unlikely World Series win. And to get the 69 manager card of Gil Hodges from that very season, a beautiful portrait shot. The stamp is in a great spot. It's just a perfect buyback. It checks all the boxes for me. Incredible cartoon on the back, and I find it hard to believe that I have anything in slot 564 that is going to beat out Gil Hodges here. He is almost a certain addition to the Franken set. And so with the preamble out of the way, let's get to the two monster cards that I promised in the intro. These are two of the hobby's most iconic rookie cards from the 1980s. And I had always wondered if either of them existed in buyback format. In all the years that I've been watching with saved searches and combing the internet and combing card shops and anywhere I can look, I've never seen a buyback of either of these cards. And here's the first one. Just incredible. The 1984 Topps Don Mattingly rookie card in buyback format. This is from the newest buyback program that was just done by Topps and Fanatics towards the end of 2024. The 2024 Topps Originals buyback program. Two of these were inserted individually wrapped into each advent calendar that Fanatics put out this past holiday season. I did a whole countdown episode on my 25 favorite of these buybacks. Obviously, I've bought quite a few of them over the last couple of months, most of them cheaply. But for some of the really more desirable buybacks in that program, I've seen maybe a half a dozen or so now like this. They stamp them as one of ones, foil stamped. And this Mattingly is one of those. So if we turn this over in the upper right, this is actually a stamped one of ones. This is the only Don Mattingly rookie buyback that was included in that Advent program. And as someone who's not a massive Mattingly collector, but is a huge buyback collector, this is easily the best Don Mattingly card in my entire collection. Just so excited to have this one. When you think 1980s, if you made a list of the 25 most iconic rookie cards of the 1980s, this card makes the list, and I'm just ecstatic to add that one to the overall buyback collection. And then the finale card I'm even more excited about. and I think would be even higher on the list of iconic 80s rookies, the Ken Griffey Jr. Check this out. This is his 89 Topps traded card from the Rediscover Topps buyback promotion. Incredible, breathtaking buyback, and I'm not overstating it. For somebody that collects these, again, I've been watching these cards for about 10 years, since the 2014 program, which was really the first massive pack-issued buyback program that they'd had, and never seen a Griffey. So this was an 89 Topps traded that was included in one of the box sets that all of us had growing up, or many of us had growing up. But in this case, this is the only copy I've ever seen that was bought back by Topps, stamped, and then pack issued. A twice pack issued Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. This was not a cheap card. I had to pay up for this, but I was willing to really stretch to add this to my collection. This is, in all the years I've been doing this, this is a top 5 buyback, just because Griffey was the man around this time period. I was a kid collector in the 90s, and he was the king of the hobby, undisputed, in the same way that Mickey Mantle was decades earlier for kids who grew up, in my dad's generation. And after years and years of wondering if this even existed or not, a copy finally surfaced on eBay at open auction, no less, just a 99-cent opening bid. And I went hard at this and was able to bring it home. And I'm just so excited. I think a few people may have not paid attention or had this filtered out of their results because in the 2017 Rediscover program, there was an advertising card for the Rediscover program, which was like a promotional card. It's worth nothing. It was in tons of packs. There were copies of them all over the place. And it featured the 89 Griffey reprint on the front. So I'm assuming a lot of Griffey collectors kind of filtered their results out to not really show this card, or even if they saw this come up in a search, if you just looked at this photo quick, as you're scrolling through hundreds of Ken Griffey Jr. cards, you would probably think this is another one of those, quarter card promotional items. But this is the actual legit 89 Topps rookie card, bought back by Topps, stamped, and then some lucky collector pulled this out of a pack of 2017, either Topps or Allen & Ginter, a 2017 product. It's a really unique, one-of-a-kind Ken Griffey Jr. And it's the way that I like to collect guys like Nolan Ryan and Ken Griffey Jr. There are guys in the hobby who have much deeper pockets than I do, who are into Griffey and Ryan, and I can't compete with those guys. I can't swim in that pool, but I can use my hobby knowledge and my eBay searching skills and a lot of patience to find kind of unique diamonds in the rough like this. And without having the same amount of funding that those guys do, was still able to add a really unique, one-of-a-kind Griffey collectible to my collection. So really, honestly, one of the highlight pickups for me of all of 2024. And I've been waiting to have an opportunity here to show it off on the channel. And when the Don Mattingly surfaced shortly after, and I was able to secure that one as well, I figured I would combine them both into a video. So the two most epic buybacks that I was able to acquire from my collection last calendar year. Just so excited and happy to be able to show them off and share them with you here in the community. So thank you for tuning in for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Would love to hear your opinion on these in the comments. And I'll be back soon with some more content. But until then, hope everybody's enjoying the hobby. Take care.